Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 7v7 custom match here on the most amazing New Access map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. But before I go ahead and do that, I want to shout out to the person who sent me this replay through my strategiclaunchreplays at gmail.com. Thank you so much for that submission. I will have his name down in the description for everybody to check out. But for those who don't want to know who it is, and that might influence your decisions later on and who you think is going to win it, that sort of thing, he is one of the 14 players. I will say that. But again, if you don't want to know and just want to watch the game and maybe not know the outcome, maybe, don't look at the description. Just wait till the end of the match and go from there. But we'll take a look at Team 1 on the north side first for introductions, and then Team 2 in the south after them. Taking a look at the eastern side player here for Team 1, it is an Imperial Gray Strider playing as a UEF. He is a 1600 in Rust. To his west, we have the Cybran of No Fear 555. He is an 1800. To his northwest, or north-ish west, it is Zoom playing as a UEF. He is in Light 10 as a 1700. To his west, we have in Royal Blue, it is Kareem playing as a UEF. He is a 1300. In Emerald Green, to his southwest, is Blastiel playing as a Cybran. He is a 2200. The highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall. To his south, we have in Barbie Pink, it is Syzalan playing as a Cybran. He is a 1700. And rounding out Team 1's northwestern corner, it is Chap in Stitch Blue as a 1400. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 4 UEF and 3 Cybrans, no Aeon and no Seraphim tech for Team 1. So I expect lots of Billies. I expect lots of Monkeys. I expect a bunch of Percys and Bricks and whatnot from Team 1. But let's go ahead and take a look and talk about Team 2's players. Starting off on the western side, we have in go on the dark green. It is orange, the color orange, if my mind will actually work correctly today. It is Firv, the Billy Nuke ambassador. He is a 1500 playing as a UEF. To his east, we have in Snow White, it is Sarge AFK Dad playing as an Aeon. He is an 1800. To his east, we have in Chevy Crimson is Lieutenant Lich playing as an Aeon as well. He is a 1700. In Ruby Red, to his east, it is Rye Guys playing as a Cybran. He is a 1400. To his northeast, we have in Regal Purple, it is Moy. He is a Seraphim. He is a 2100 rated player, the highest rated player on Team 2. Next door to him is Kinder 5129 playing as a Seraphim. In Tropical Ocean Blue as a 1700. And in the southeastern corner of the map, most likely the regarded slot player for Team 2, it is Haldovik playing as a Seraphim as well. He is a 1400 in Pac-Man Yellow. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have 3 Seraphim, 2 Aeon, and 1 Cybran, and 1 UEF. I think I did that math right. Yes, I did. Okay. And for these 14 players on the match, let's take a look at the reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 6,000 mass, which again might seem like a lot. It really isn't, especially for 14 players. I mean, it divvies up to maybe a little under 400 mass per player. So it's something. It's not a lot, but it's something. Taking a look at the mechs locations here for Team 1 and Team 2, there really also is just not a lot of mexes either. There's a couple of tri-mexes on the eastern and western side of this middle conglomeration of whatever you want to call that. A decent amount of one-ops kind of on the horizontal line here, and then obviously a couple of one-ops in the mid to back line. But there are a couple of twin mexes right here and right here as well. So there's some expansionary mexes to grab, but there really isn't a whole lot to grab, which is unfortunate because this is another 7v7 game, and not having a lot of mass kind of makes the game go, I guess, a little bit longer, which isn't the worst thing on the planet, but it does delay when the big ticket items come out. So it's a blessing and a curse in some degrees. Taking a look at where our players are headed off to in this game, it looks like everybody on Team 1 has left their main bases, and Team 2, everybody has at least made progress to the north. In the middle, we have Combi-Com action between Syzalan of Team 1 and Sarge AFK Dad of Team 2. So there's one player at least here for Team 1 and Team 2, one over here on the western side. So there's 2v2 sort of ish there. We also see Blast and Kareem kind of more leaning toward that western side. We have Zoom in the middle. Looks like he's probably going to face off against Moi, because I do think Lieutenant Lynch is going to shift in that westward direction. We have Right Guys and Haldovic behind Kinder, who's facing off against Strider and No Fear 555. And I think that is everybody. And we have Moi going up the middle right here. I think I got him as well. I think that's everybody. 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's everybody. Okay. Back here on the western side, we have Gun started for Firv, and he's going for his bigger boomstick. And you got to get those boomsticks online because they provide a lot of the firepower. We do see Blast Shield getting some T1 PD just in case some of those units from Sarge start to wander a little bit. And it also kind of does a little bit of double duty in case Lieutenant Lynch decides to wander his direction. He has a couple of ways to escape a little bit. Gun started here for Zoom in the middle. Gun started for Kinder. Gun started for Strider on the eastern side. We have Gun also started for Sarge, who's halfway done with his speed. Almost going to go probably for his range, because why would you not? Because you're Aeon. Might as well go for range, because, again, why not? We have a couple of forces, looks like dropped off. Maybe they ran by from Firv. I feel like that was more of a run by. I mean, we could check if he has an air facility. That would tell me, maybe. Maybe he built a transport. He does have one back here, so maybe. He did a couple of damage to some engineers, but nothing to be lasting in Saizoan's base, so that is a little bit unfortunate, but it does force them to build some more defenses just to, again, soak up some mass that helps them out a little bit. We do see Gun is now done on Saizoan's comm. AFK Dad facing a Gun speed and range comm versus only just having the speed on his comm. It is a Gun advantage here for Firv going after Chap, who is being driven back. He's falling into the yellow. Has to be careful, because it could be the first departure of the game. We have Gun started here for Moi. I think Zoom is almost done with his upgrade. Gun done here for No Fear, going for his stealth. And we have Strider going for T2, already done with his gun. And Nano started for Kinder, already done with his gun as well. T2 gunships inbound for Chap to assist with the inbound T1 force from Firv. So not going well in that regard. This eastern side kind of quiet. Not on the western front, but on the eastern front. We'll see if that kicks off here shortly, especially with all these upgrades being constructed and put on and just slapped together and whatnot. T2 started also for Zoom in the middle as I zoom in on his comm. Does look like Team 2's AFK has this range upgrade online now. A little bit in the yellow, but he'll get back up in the green here shortly. Saizoan with Gun going off with Firv with Gun. So with the difference being, of course, one is the speed and range, one is the damage and range. So each individual shot from Firv is more powerful, but Saizoan fires twice as fast. So lower HP units, it's better to deal with for Saizoan, and for Firv, it's better for those higher HP units. It's just kind of how the way that goes. Of course, with the UEF having the Percy, it does make sense that he would have the damage upgrade instead of the speed upgrade. Sensor package started for Lieutenant Lynch in the middle, give him a little bit of vision in the middle of the map. This is not a full 20 by 20. It's probably about a 17, maybe 18. And maybe 18 is a little bit too big, maybe 17. So he'll have a decent chunk. He'll probably cover most of the middle. He might see Zoom up there to the north, might be a little bit outside of his range. But it will help that he's going for range to assist with, like I said, that range. Oh, I didn't click on his name fast enough. Dang it. No, it's not close enough to see him from his current location, but I think if he stands in the direct middle, he could see him. Lots of wall sections being built on the eastern side for Kinder to curtail some of the movement from Team 1. We have Haldovic a little bit behind him, just walking back and forth, it looks like, just in case there's any sort of run-bys, he can try to intercept them. T3 Air online for him, and it looks like T3 Air also online for his, not far away teammate, but teammate of Right Guys. Team 1 also has 1 and 2 T3 Air players, so it is going to be a 2 air player game, 5 land player game, because of course there's a tiny bit of water, but not enough water to really make a difference. 3 players on the western side for Team 1, still 2 players here on the western side for Team 2. We have Lieutenant Lynch pushing the middle with Moi assisting the more eastern-ish side. We do see Strider going for the bubble shield upgrade on the UEF comm. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this thing. It has its niche. It has its use. I understand why, but I just don't particularly like it. I'd rather have just the standard 19,000 shield capacity upgrade versus the 5,000. It does protect some units next to him, to be fair, but long term, it's just not as useful, I feel like, as the regular shield. But again, each their own. Tactical missile started for Moy in the middle. He is Seraphim, so he can only go for the regular attack missile. He does have T2 on board. Attack missile started for Firv on the western side as well, so I mean, he is the Billy ambassador, to be fair, so it would make sense that most, not every game, but most of his games are filled with some Billy nukes. Advanced range started for Lieutenant Lynch, and we should see an yep, there's the increase in range for his sensor package upgrade. So nice little bit more of vision on the center of the map, and that's not only for him, but for his entire team, which is very, very useful. We have Ragas here in the water, no upgrades on board his comm. He's focusing on air, and Haldovic is now back in his main base, trying to micro those ASF and those upgrades. Personally, we do see some bit of pushing here from Kinder. Again, it's Nano and Gun versus T2 Gun and the Bubble Shield, which is already gone. So, again, not a huge upgrade, or not a huge fan of said upgrade, but that's just what the comms have on board their chassis, I guess. We have Firv on the western side pushing with Sarge in the eastern side of said west. And it looks like they're splitting the difference. It does look like Firv is going after a couple of the TAC missile shots, going after some T2 mexes, vulnerable for Chap. That's right, that TMD will not be enough for that one. So that is 9 mass a second. He will lose from that TAC missile. We should see Moy firing off his own TAC missiles here shortly. There is probably more TMD over here because there's more players and whatnot running around the map. And we're talking about players from 13 to 2200, so they're definitely aware of TAC missile snipes, whether it be on the comms or on the mexes. Give ASFs, says Chap, so it looks like maybe we'll have Kareem assist. Maybe I didn't mention Kareem. Maybe that's why I didn't mention in the beginning, but I thought I did. Anyway, he'll be handing over the ASFs. It is UEF and UEF, so there's no difference in technology there. You can just double click your ASFs and it selects all on screen. Kind of a nice little thing to do. Makes it a little bit faster instead of doing a shortcut. We do have Zoom going for a T3 upgrade, so most likely Ravagers and T3 shielding in the middle. Shield started for the western side of Sarge, which I wouldn't be surprised to see Lich maybe go for his own shield. He is kind of exposed. No veterancy, no offensive upgrades besides the range. Does have the sensor package, like I said, so it's more of a utility upgrade more than an offensive or defensive weapon. Maybe it's a little bit of a defensive thing, an offensive, but still. A couple of Harbingers sitting here having a fun time. They get dropped off. They do get pinged by Team 2, and that Harbinger gets absolutely annihilated by some Loyalists. And then there goes that other one. We have the eastern side of Kinder still pushing in, and Strider is going to go down. There he goes, dies to Kinder's comm. And I guess some sniper bots helped and assist with that shot. It is now a 7v6 in Team 2's favor. Sniper bot user, says Strider. I mean, Seraphim and Aeon comms or players have access to them. Very, very good unit. Very weak, but very, very good unit. Give to No Fear, says Strider. Yep, and that's where he goes. So the eastern player of No Fear now has double base. It jumpstarts his eco quite nicely. Now he's at 233. He is roughly in lockstep with Haldovic, who is producing the most mass for his team. And we have a little bit of an ASF fight, kind of a little bit, not really. We have attack missile counter inbound from Team 1. Lots of the fire beetles over here hanging out. Don't know what they're going to do, but maybe we'll see something spicy from him. And blast shield. I thought I saw that tech missile from this direction. He is Cybran, so he's not going to have tech missile on board his comm. There must be a TML somewhere. Oh, no, okay, won't follow the line. And I don't see it. Am I just blind? I'm probably just blind, but it definitely came from this direction. Unless it's from somebody else that I just don't even notice. Maybe somebody will fire another missile, and then I'll try to track it again. But that's the second missile I lost, so third probably won't assist me, but who knows. In the middle, a little bit more pushback here from Zoom. Couple of Percys online. Attack missile will not snipe that Percy because it was killed off by Lieutenant Lynch's comm. And eastern side getting another wall section, really just annoying the pathfinding for Team 1. And those sniper bots slowly picking away at that eastern front nonetheless. We see a nice little brick trying to run by. Doesn't really go anywhere, unfortunately. Firv has taken some damage. He falls into the mid-yellows. He's at gun, missile, and T2 on board his comm. And we have Sarge AFK has the shield upgrade on board. Maybe he'll go for a heavy shield. Maybe he won't. Maybe he will. We have both Chap and Sizon over here on the western side hanging out. Maybe he got rid of that TAC missile launcher, but I thought it was over here for some reason. There's a zapper. And that's the only other icon that I see. That's a zapper. Yeah, I don't see that TAC missile. He must have gotten rid of it, or they're just somebody else over there. I don't know. Anyway, is that an SMD up there? That is an SMD up there. That's actually probably a good place to put that. Team 2 and Team 1 maybe going to have another tussle in the middle of the map. 20 minutes on the clock. Team 2 has not lost a player yet. Team 1 has only lost the only player in the game. So unfortunately, not everybody makes it past the 20-minute mark. It is unfortunate, but of course it does happen, especially in the 77 most of the time. Eastern side, Titans running by a couple of Ilshis. This fight will be won by the Titans just because more DPS, more hit points. I think they move faster, but even if they don't, it's just the DPS and the HP will definitely assist with that. T2 gunships inbound, and that'll help deal with at least some of those Titans. Does look like there's a couple of bombers inbound to assist. Ooh, that's a lot of dead units, unfortunately for Kinder. Oh, the slaughtering of the engineers. In the middle of the map, it is Thams, and it's Harbingers versus Percy's. That's pretty much only going to go one way in Team 1's favor. Maybe an odd missile from Mori once in a while. Frontline base here for No Fair. Still under bombardment from missiles. Some missiles from snipers. He's trying to fight back at least a little bit with some T2 artillery. So it's stationary versus mobile tech in that regard. Sensor package done for AFK going for gun. So he swapped out his speed upgrade for a sensor package upgrade, which will be very, very nice because he gets another chunk of the map on visual range. So lovely, lovely upgrade there. Gets him a nice little bit of, constant vision. Very, very nice. Again, the smaller the map, the bigger the impact that has. So it makes a huge difference on those nice little maybe 4v4, 3v3 maps. We do see he's pushing in a little bit. There are some bricks over here going to cause him a little bit of a headache, so that's not really going to work. And it does look like Firv is slowly kind of conglomerating him and his teammates' forces together. He does have, Sarge, speaking which, have a nice little Colossus online. Airfight in the middle of the map. We have ASFs from 4 different players. It looks like the ones from Kareem are dead. We still have the ones from Team 2's Haldovic and Ragais. More ASFs inbound from Ragais to assist. It does look like Ragais has this. Oh, yeah, he has this. That is an air win for Team 2. They have air control so far. Not necessarily dominance yet, but at a bare minimum, they have a little bit of an advantage, which something is better than nothing. More bricks now down this western approach for Team 1's No Fair. We have Kinder falling back. Group of T2 forces inbound to push back that line. And that's not going to be really helpful for him keeping those artillery units and the missile, not missile, I keep saying missiles, the snipers online long term. There is a little bit of a break in the wall section. Percy's are coming in. Not a good thing to deal with. You have multiple wall incursions, and there's only so much you can deal with at a time. Western approach, Team 2 still pushing. We have the comm of Saizolan. Does have Nano on board. Needs to get away from that Colossus or he will die. Needs to be very, very careful about that. We have Kinder pushing back. He's dropping hit points very quickly. I need to, 1, slow things down, and 2, split things up because things are kicking off on both sides of the map. Kinder taking a lot of damage, and he might be killed off by these bugs. Yes, they are, the little fire beetles. And we see Saizolan going down roughly at the exact same time. Team 1 and Team 2 suffer a loss relatively, like I said, at the same time. Nice use of the fire beetles here from Team 1's blast shield, helping to deal with Kinder's comm. That is now a 6v5, still in favor of Team 2, but now each team has suffered at least 1 loss in the game, so nobody in the game, no team is going to have everybody last till 30 minutes, so just like I said, kind of the way that the game works. GC still is pushing on this western side. The pace here for Saizolan is just not going to exist anymore. Team 1 and Team 2's ecos were relatively similar, but given, I think, a couple of moments, Team 2 should probably get about a 200, if not maybe close to a 300 lead, given all the mixes that are going to die. There is a Monkey Lord online. There's a nice little ACU Rambo preset running around. Firv's forces are being sent northward, and forces from AFK are being sent eastward. And Calm dead in the middle. I missed that. Lieutenant Lich killed off by the Percys and the Harbingers from Zoom. Now it's a tied-up game once again, 5v5. And we have now Firv falling back a little bit. Team 1 continue to pressing the advantage. Same thing that Team 2 is doing on the western side. Monkey Lord will assist. It'll take out all of the remaining T2, T3 forces, but it'll leave the Colossus remaining just because it probably won't have enough DPS before it's killed off. Lots of Team 1 bombers and T3 gunships overhead to help assist. Fire all around. They aren't the Janus, but they are the Scorchers, so they're being lit on fire in some degree. I mean, they are Scorchers. They should probably scorch the earth. There is the joke there. I knew it was coming at some point. Maybe somebody thought it was coming just because the name of the unit is involved with fire. Anyway, we do see GC is falling back. So it looks like the remaining stuff for Blast Shield will be fine. And to be fair, there's pretty much nothing left for that Colossus to assist with, or at least have assisting him. There is a T3 Mex that will go down, which would be nice, but that Monkey Lord will kill that Colossus, or should kill that Colossus, especially if it attacks at this range continuously. ASF's inbound to clean up the skies. The forces here from Team 2's Firv are all gone at this point, so I don't really see the point in sending the ASFs in. And all the ASFs just died, so that's not great, unfortunately. So Team 2, I guess, lose whatever control that they had, plus maybe cede that to Team 1. I don't think it's dominance territory for anybody just yet. It's 32 plus an additional 20, so that's 60, but Team 2 definitely has more than 10. They actually have 83, so actually they're still in the lead. So they could have actually probably had air dominance, but got wiped out by Team 1's ASFs. Eastern side, there is a nice little Yathotha online, little Chicken Walker. Well, not little, but a Chicken Walker online. The frontline base here for No Fear is going down. Team 2 and Team 1 staying again roughly at the same amount of mass income they were moments ago when the attack on the western side and eastern side occurred. So no huge mass lead in favor of Team 1 or Team 2. Team 2 maybe started to eke out a little bit, but nothing too crazy. Sarge talking about how he's toxic. No idea what's in reference to that. I have no idea. Again, I don't follow the chat that much. I try, but it's watching this with 7 players and that on each team, I should say, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help. Another GC online for Team 2. This one actually survives. I thought it would actually be killed off by the Monkey Lord. This one will kill off this Colossus, but it'll leave another one. This is the repped up 5-star vet that is now down. It's probably one of the only reasons why it survived. Lots of flak nearby here for Team 2. This Monkey Lord is down, and you could probably send that in. This Monkey Lord is almost done, so that GC will be slowed. But taking out an SMD, taking out an Omni, taking out a frontline base for Blast Shield would be a very, very good grab. Even if you dump some mass, this is going to go to Team 1 most likely anyways, unless he already has engineers, which Firv kind of already has some nearby, but isn't really like right there. Team 1 pushing back in the middle a little bit. Eastern side is going to receive some pushback, I would assume, by the 2 Chicken Walkers inbound. T3 Nexus are going down. Still, mass income's not really changing between the teams. Air grid being well expanded upon here by Team 2. Where are the shielding? Oh, there's one right there. Love it. With like all of the shielding going for Bomber for Haldelvik. He knows he has air control, so smart move there. And nothing too crazy. Maybe artillery. Maybe artillery there. It is 28 minutes. Somebody's going to start thinking about how to end the game at some point. Grab started here for No Fear, going for more after that. Artillery maybe, possibly maybe here for Zoom. Air grid getting some shielding. Love to see that. And they're using the edge of the map. So if there is artillery, they're hoping that it sails off the edge into the void, ocean. Air grid, again, very cascadable, but a little bit of shielding would like more. I always say more shielding, more shielding, more shielding. And if you think you have enough, you are incorrect. You will never have enough. You will never have enough. But you are enough, just you will not have enough shielding. ASFs have a tussle in the middle of the map. Looks like Team 2 not really getting a great engagement. Great job by Team 1's Wasp, just annihilating those Iazines. We have some more ASFs inbound from Ragas to try to tip the scales at least a little bit. And it looks like that might be enough, but lots of dead ASFs. Generational air throw, says Strider. He is one of the dead players on Team 1 at this point. Tactical missile started for Chap. So somebody's going into Billy Nuke's, maybe, possibly, maybe T3. And Billy Nuke is online for Firv. There's the backpack on board. A big, giant nonsense of a backpack going to load his first Billy Nuke, I would assume, of the game. T2 started here for Kareem. He has the shield upgrade on board. And he's going to get some additional hit points with that upgrade. So being his UEF tanky self. And, of course, you can't be as tanky as the Seraphim Com. But, hey, the Seraphim Com can't get shielding. So there is a drawback in that regard. And the Cyber one can't get shielding as well. So 2 out of the 4. It's not, well, yeah, 2 out of the 4 because the Aeon, and yeah. Static missile still going on the way. GC still pushing in. Looks like that was the old GC. 2 monkeys inbound. That should be enough. This monkey probably will die, but this monkey will finish the job. Not a lot of T3 land support in terms of harbingers or anything else for that matter. Second laser will activate. Don't cross the streams at least. And will the monkey go behind the GC? Oh, no. Maybe the... No. There won't be enough. I was going to say maybe the GC will stay alive just barely, but it was not more. Need more power, says Firv. He's going for RAS, so he's going for a lot of resources on board that com, both in the firepower long range, the hit points, and of course the actual just resource generator on board. Nuke done for Team 2, Sergeant AFK Dad. The first nuke of the game has been built, not loaded, but at least built. 31 minutes, so a lot of players will have SMDs by now. At least some of them will have SMDs, obviously. The air grid is protected. The air grid is protected, and the middle is protected. Just the eastern side over here is not. Why are you building a satellite that far forward? I understand the SMD, but why is that right there? If he can defend it, good for him, but I just feel like that's too far forward, in my opinion. But UEF doing UEF things, 31 minutes on the clock, 31 seconds as well. We're about the halfway point in the video, or at least in terms of the replay. Thank you so much for watching to this point in the video. If you haven't done so already, let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. And, of course, hit that like button, subscribe. And for those that did look in the description to see who submitted the replay, you cheat. But all kidding, though, aside, were you right or were you wrong on your guess of who submitted the replay? You had, again, 1 out of 14, maybe an educated guess. 1 out of 13, I don't know. 1 out of 2, I don't know how well of a assumptions you could make about who submitted what replay when. Bomber over the top, going after a couple of Percys, and those Percys are undefended, at least a little bit. They had a little bit of AA coverage, but not a whole lot. But let me know down in the comments, like I said, who you think is going to currently win. Again, there is a satellite online, there's a nuke online, there's a bomber online, there's monkeys online, there's a fat boy moving his little arms online, and comms hiding in a little bit of water to the north for Team 1 Splash Shield. And again, as always, just thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. And if you have a replay that you would like to see me look at and maybe have casted on the channel, send it to me at strategiclaunchreplays@gmail.com. And I might start doing a weekly viewer submitted cast, so players or whoever will submit casts to me. I'll review them, I'll pick one, and it'll be up at least roughly once a week. I think I might do Wednesdays today, so there's that. So you might have even a higher chance of it being casted, but just again, I don't know if I'm going to do it every week or every other week, but I'm going to try to do at least every other week, I think, but maybe try to make it every week. We'll see. A little bit of a lull period here in the game. The bomber is throwing some shots every which way, but it's not doing tons of damage and tons of kills. But it's racking up some veterancy at, was that 2-star now? 1-star, almost at 2-star. ASFs are stacking quite nicely. Is anybody else thinking about how to end the game? Fat Boy for Firv, Donut for AFK. He does have the nuke that is not shielded or assisted. So I think the shielded thing is more important than the not assisted part. ASF, Bug coming online. Are we going to see all 3 air experimentals on the same team in one game? What? Online at the same time? That would be crazy. Oh, do you not? Why? Why? It was just a spy plane just hanging out on the floor. It wasn't doing anything harm. May I have ASFs this time, says Chap. It just... Oh, that was a... like, you know, FU in particular kind of thing. Donut is inbound for Team 2's AFK, going after the Fat Boy. There is some A coverage nearby, and here comes the ASFs. That's a dead Donut. The laser is going to activate. Ooh, the laser does help out a little bit, and the ASFs just clean sweeped it from the ones from Chap. Here come the ones from Kareem, and there goes a Billy Nuke, it looked like, from Team 1, because it wouldn't have launched on Team 2 stuff from Team... What is this? Telebilly inbound. Ooh. Ooh. Wait, no. Who is that? No. That's Firv No, he's telebilling. Okay, that's what he did. Like, who would teleport right there? That was from Firv. He went after the air grid. He got a chunk of it. Nice grab there from Firv. He also grabbed some mexes on top of it as well. So nice little 2-for-1 combo there. Doesn't take out the whole air grid or the whole group of mexes, but does do some damage to each. So that's something. Chickens in the east. There's 4 of them, but there's 3 crabs. Lots of HP. There is 1 Fat Boy. This chicken not really helping out a whole lot. This first chicken is dead. I think the chickens will all die. Maybe they'll grab 2 of the 3 crabs. I don't think they'll grab all 3 of them. We have the Donut over here. Where's the Bomber? Bomber's still under control down there. Bug is coming online. It's almost done. We might see all 3 air experimentals on one team in one game alive at the same time. I have definitely seen all of them in one game. Very rarely do I see it all on the same team, and rarely even that do I see them all on the same team, all in the same game, all alive at the same time. Yeah, that was a mouthful. Say that 10 times fast. Nuke is outbound from Sarge, going after... That SMD is not loaded. Ooh, you gotta land it now. It's going to fire. There it is. Ooh, and it was just making its curve as well. So unfortunate for Team 2. About, I'd say, 3 seconds faster, and that thing would have landed. The super bad place for Team 4. They crushed 2 donuts on it. Okay, well, there's a Maver there. I didn't really understand the comment because I saw the SMD, but that's a Maver coming online for Team 1. And, yeah, there's the satellite right there. It's right. Just go in the back. It has infinite range. What are you doing? I don't understand. I mean, I get it, travel time with engineers and whatnot. I understand it, but those are also hover engineers, to be fair. Those are drones, so, you know, they don't have the same pathfinding restraints that those that have wheels or hover do. 2 donuts online for Team 2. Bomber still online. Is the Bug online? Oh, come on, just finish it. Come on, I want to be able to say they're all in the same game, all on the same team, all alive at the same time. We have 4 GCs on the western side. Chickens did not fare too great. There's a lot of dead stuff. Billy Nuke landing on top of some Fat Boys, but the Fat Boys, that one might die. That one might live, but it is concerning nonetheless. Gunships might make a pass at it. Team 2's got to know about that artillery here shortly. It's almost, it actually is half done. Billy Nuke inbound, gonna crush a couple of Percys right here. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Boom! Nice grab there. Weakens a huge amount of the frontline power for Blast Shield. That was probably from Firv. Yep, 64,000 met. Yep, that'd be him. T3 gunships inbound. They are the broadswords. Very good unit dealing with ground forces. Monkeyloids are both dead. ASFs are inbound. They at least get one of the GCs dead, which is something. And the ASFs are just inbound. Bombers are inbound. Bomber is inbound. Donut is probably inbound. And the Bug is alive. All 3 air experimentals all alive for the same team at the same time. And good thing I said that, because the Bomber got wiped out. They were almost all controlled by the same player. Almost. We have the Bug and the Donut, just not the Bomber. Set into micro, says Strider. I was distracted looking at base, says Haldovic. That is unfortunate. And on the eastern side, those Fat Boys do survive, but there's another crab over here. Gunships are inbound. They are the Volthus, so they'll help out at least a little bit. More groups inbound. A lot of strats, says Saizolan. Oh, yeah. Ooh, that's, what, 3 squadrons, if not more than that? Almost 3 squadrons. So 33 out of the 36 needed for 3 squadrons. Satellite online, UEF doing UEF things. Where's Team 1 satellite? Oh, it's over here, over the air grid. Going after some mexes. That's unfortunate. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sets of T3 mexes double ringed, and then one that was a double ring that was cut in half. That's a lot of dead mass here for Team 2. That Mavor somehow is still not dead, because Team 2 definitely knows where it is. They have the air scouts. Or maybe there's an eye overhead, but the air scouts from the Seraphim faction have that. Artillery is online, going after that Mavor. Kareem standing there next to that with a Billy Nuke as well. Bombers are inbound. That's ooh, yeah, that's a massacre for Team 2's bombers. But they get behind the ASFs. Oh, will enough get there? The ASFs for Team 2 trying to get there. Sorry, for Team 1 trying to get there. Some bombers are inbound also from Rye Guys. Bombs do make it to that Mavor, but it's not enough. The artillery trying to help out the best they can as well, but a shield stays online. Ooh, that was rough. And explosion happens. That looks like it's an SACU somewhere. Actually, no, up here to the northeast. Another Billy Nuke outbound, Telebilly outbound from Firv. The T3 land headquarters from No Fear does survive, but a couple of the Nexus do not. And that is now a lot of mass for Team 2 to scoop up. Oh, look at those numbers. There's a lot of them, probably 250, maybe 300,000. There it is. Another Billy Nuke is going to land from Kareem here shortly. Another Billy Nuke over here to the west from, I would assume, Chap. Yep, because he's the other UEF on, well, one of the other UEFs on Team 1. Another airfight happens. Donut is going to die right on top of that satellite. So does the Bug. And the satellite is alive. 1,000 out of the 9,000 HP. But 2 artillery shots inbound. Oh, it hits Zoom right next to him. Oh, and there goes the Mavor. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Without the shield, he would have died. So, good thing he built that shield. He was working on that for 40 years, says Strider. Well, he can spend another 40 years building another one, I guess. There's the 2 Why are they not shielded? What's wrong with this? Why are they not shielded? And Salvation over here to the west. Giffen over from... Wait, did Sergeant die? No, he's still alive. Okay. I thought he died for a second, but he's still alive. He's right there, though. There's a Billy Nuke. Ooh, that was close. That game is pain to watch, this Sizolan. Well, sometimes it's pain. Sometimes it's not pain. So, we'll see. Let me know down in the comments if this is pain to watch or not. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully I keep it entertaining. Hopefully not past tense. Hopefully present, current tense. T2 started here for Firv. Oh, he's going back for his teleportation. Okay. I'm not going to repeat that. Nope. Kareem's like, 3 FAF warriors over here on the eastern side. Looks like the satellite online for Team 1's Kareem up here to the north. Artillery up here to the north as well. And no artillery here for Team 1 Zoom. Gonna go for artillery there, but Sarge is defeated by Blast Shield. Looks like it was by a crab. And Firv is gonna just go home. He's like, nope, I'm going home now. And does he have T? He has T2. Maybe he was starting T3. Kill shields. I tried Telebilly, says Chap. Well, to be fair, Firv has been doing that quite nicely. So Team 1 has prepped some defenses. So maybe Team 2 did. How much more mass are you going to waste on the Billy? Says Mui. And I think that's a dead crab. That's a lot of Fat Boy fire. It's 4 of them over there. It's pretty close to critical mass. But Team 1 has built a lot of T2 artillery. So... maybe not, but it is a concerning amount nonetheless. Like I said, Salvation was coming online. Team 1 knows about it. Oh, look at that. One of the artilleries is gone. The second one almost dead. That's why you need shielding, everybody. That's why you need shielding, because that is definitely preventable. Very, very unfortunate. There is an artillery online for Team 1, to be fair, but still. Kill Nuke, says Sizolan. This Nuke is unshielded. It is loaded as well. At this point, you just got to fire it. Strider, can you leave, says Firv. Looks like maybe he's causing some lag. That is unfortunate. Especially because Strider's been doing a pretty good job of keeping it a little lively and commenting about stuff. And whatnot. Looks like he just left. That's probably what the pause was about. Flash Shield still in the water up there to the north. Another set of strap bombers stacking up. Team 1, you have one there. And... there's one over here to the east. Yeah, there's one over here. Second one for him is being built up there. I thought that was a Scapus for a second. So we've seen a Mavor in the southeast. Billy Nuke hits the shielding. And the shielding goes, no, we're good. Assist shielding, says Sizolan. Talking about the air grid up there to the north for Kareem. Billy Nuke inbound. Looked like it almost hit that donut. Gonna strike right in the middle of that Fat Boy and the Crab there. Maybe the Fat Boy's out of range. I think it gets singed a little bit, but nothing too damaging. But the Fat Boy is without its shield. It might get it back in time before Team 2's forces catch up with it, but if not, there is that donut running around. The Nuke is dead, so that's unfortunate. It did have one loaded, which is the more unfortunate part for Team 2. Fortunate for Team 1, this is boring, says Haldovic. Lots of T2 gunships. Don't know what he's going to do with all those. Team 1 has a lot of AA, so it can be that useful. And artillery still is the focus of Team 1's. And we have the Salvation almost done without a Paragon. I perish the thought. Why? I understand a little bit why, but why? Just build a Paragon. Paragon always better. Paragon almost always better. Paragon sometimes better. I keep changing my mind. Strap bombers inbound, kill off the artillery here for no fear. Some of that was a little overkill, but they did kill the target nonetheless, so there is that. That means the only artillery online is nowhere because Team 1 doesn't have an additional one online. They have more building. There's one satellite there, another satellite about to be done. Looks like that one just got finished. And there is one building of course here. Not going for the Mavor once again. His satellite somehow survives, has taken 20 more damage from whatever hit it or shot at it or whatever. But attack on the ground inbound from Zoom. There's a ton of gunships down here. Those Percys do not really stand a chance. There is some AA in the mix, and there is a couple of the Bubble Shield SAC presets. See, now the Bubble Shield has 52,000 hit points. See, that's a use case for the Bubble Shield, just not on the comm. On the SAC, that's a lot of shielding. A lot of shield. That's a lot of hit points. Scathis is done under the control of Moi for whatever reason. And he has those Fat Boys. He's going to spread them out a little bit more on that western side of his base. And artillery is done for Firv. He has a satellite, of course, and his own Fat Boy that he's just keeping for protection. And Donut doing a pretty good job of eliminating all those Percys on the surface. The Percys, I guess, tried to go for the artillery, but I don't think they're going to make it. Satellite's trying to help out, but the shielding is too strong. There's not constant artillery shots to help try to keep the or keep chipping away at the shielding. And artillery inbound taking out the base for Zoom. Zoom is almost dead. He has 300 hit points to his name. Salvation is really what's driving that home. Artillery would be Salvation would be a really good target to use to go after that Novax there. And looks like the rest of those Percys are dead. Zoom is somehow still alive. He's bobbing and waving. There goes the Novax for him. There's still 3 of them online. Yep, third one is now online. And Chap builds that one as I speak. There's 2 soon-to-be artillery pieces for T3. And, of course, there is the game ender-ish for Team 2's Moi. I don't really call that a game ender. The Paragon paired with the Salvation is definitely a game ender. I mean, the Paragon itself is a game ender, but the Salvation itself, I know it's classified as an experimental, but it's, I don't know. Is it better than the Scathis? Yes, maybe. You can still build enough shielding to dissuade the Salvation, but I think you need less shielding to deal with the Scathis than you do the Salvation. So, see, the only issue with calling this a game ender is that then Aeons have 2 game enders instead of just 1. But so that's why I'm like, it's kind of a ish. Fat Boy on the eastern side. Crabs holding position. Another Fat Boy over here. We have the column of Chap over here, probably going for Telly and Billy. Crab on the western side, pushing in against Firv stuff. Firv not looking too hot. There's not really a lot on the ground for him. And artillery is still pumping away. Salvation now targeting the other artillery position that Team 1 was building over here. And I don't think that shielding is going to last much longer. There is the artillery position almost done up here. And the air grid has taken a loss. And the satellite, for some reason, is still alive. Barely. And Zoom somehow survived that incursion or encounter from the Salvation. So he's definitely glad he has that shield upgrade on board. Second time that thing's probably saved him. One time for sure. T2 gunships inbound. There is some T3 mobile AA right here, helping to try to thin those numbers out. Does look like that crab will go back home. There's also the FAF. We're going to drive it away. There's a second FAF boy also here. That'll be more than enough to deal with said crab. Nuke's landing on the eastern side. Chap is loading another one. I don't know if he's going to teleport again. And nothing really happening in the back line for Team 2. No other game ender being built by Team 1 at this point. I'm kind of surprised. Firv finishes and probably another fat boy. Yeah, no other game ender coming online for Team 1. They had the one right here, and that was it. And Team 2 has the Salvation down there, and that's really about it. There is that crab back inbound. It's going to kill off that fat boy. That's unfortunate. There's also the donut over here taking a decent amount of AA fire from the bouncers down there. And that fat boy's in range as well. Looks like Firv is the target. Might want to move a little bit. Like, must kill it faster. Must kill it faster. He's taking some shots. And what's his hit points look like? Not too great. 6,000, 30, 1,900. Oh, he gets underneath the shielding. Will the crab kill him off? No, it won't, but that was very, very close to death for him. And we have Salvation nice and gilded up with all of that shielding. It's nice line right here, and then it's all down there. Gotta love it. I do find it funny that it's not all of the P-gens are Muis. Most of them are, but some of them are not. I just find it funny that they're not all under the... no, yeah, they're not all under the control of the same player, so they don't get the adjacency bonus. So that is something to think about. T1 Bomber's trying to stop the Monkey Lord, but it might not matter. The shielding is down. It's going to target the Salvation. PD right here. Ooh, it's going to be close. Salvation is gone. Unfortunate for Team T. They lose their pseudo game render artillery piece. And now we have Mori underneath some satellite fire from Team 1's Chap and Kareem. And then Mori's like, can I just not catch a break this game? Mass fat panel, go away. Western side, Team 1 doing a very good job of pushing Team 2 back considerably. Eco situation in Team 1's favor by 25%. It is a chunk of mass to be ahead. Nuke outbound once again, going after... Is that really the range of that thing? Wow, that is a very huge chunk of the map. Sometimes you look at it and go, can you really fire from that? You go, yep, you can. It just... You know, it's the whole smaller map means more area that it can cover percentage-wise. So, Nuke, not necessarily OP, but does very, very well. There goes the Nuke, lands and gets redirected by a Loyalist. Nice from Guys, and there goes explosion from somebody from Team 1. Who fired that? That looks like a Nuke, but it didn't. Who fired that? Was that? Oh, right here from Kareem. He's right here. Hey, look at that. His shielding is down. He's got to get out of there. And looks like he's led the shot a little bit. Oh, is he going to make it? Oh, he should make it. Oh, yeah, he should make it. Even with the lasers over top. Nuke was shot down. No, maybe. No, it was not shot down. The shielding will be fine. There he goes. He did drop into the red. The Nuke's going to land. SMDs were spammed up in time to protect Chap's comm, and Boy's comm is hurting, but is still alive. So there is that tons of Team 1 bombers online for Guys. Satellite online, artillery still online. It is now Gulf is what its name is. And there's also these two. This one's somehow still alive. 280 hit points to its name. Does 100% of the damage, even at roughly 1% HP. Artillery landing on the air grid up here to the northwest. That's taken out a huge chunk of that, actually going after the satellites. That one's gone. There's obviously the one right here that's still alive. Satellite online for Kareem. Satellite online for Zoom. And he's going to go for another T3 artillery. That's number 2 and number 3 in total. And number 4 over here for No Fear is being built as we speak. Team 2 not going for a lot of artillery, which is weird because they went for a lot of it and then just stopped. And Game Render over here to the east. There it is. Yolana Oz, the Super Nuke. We have the Overcompensator, and we have the Big Boom Boom Stick is online. Oh, and there goes Firv, gets sniped by artillery. Ooh. That's gotta hurt. Good thing I caught that at the last second. Killed out by Zoom. It is now a 3v5 in favor of Team 1. Why aren't my loyalists reflecting the Billy? Well, that wasn't a Billy. That was an artillery piece. But I don't know if he's referencing something else. There's the Billy right there. Yeah, there are loyalists right here. I should be redirecting that Billy move. Maybe. Oh, yeah, that is weird. Maybe it's out of range. Maybe. But that's more and more dead stuff here for Team 2. There's a crab inbound. There's more crabs inbound to the north as well. That YOLO might be the thing that wins Team 2 the game, or at least helps keep them in the game at least. Team 2's done a very good job of reversing it. It looked like Team 2 for a while was going to lead it, but Team 1 is catching up quite nicely and is now accelerating. Of course, having 2.6 to 1.9k income definitely helps with that a little bit. Crabs are inbound, and they're not really moving that fast, but they're slowly moving. Again, Billy Nuke is really just eliminating a whole bunch of frontline stuff for Moi. And how is that YOLO doing? It is half done, or over half done. It's at 7,000 hit points out of 12,000. Artillery landing on the air grid for Team 2's right, guys, and he has a little bit of a missing shield problem right there. And I think that might just be enough firepower to deal with at least a chunk of the air grid. Ooh, there goes those mass fabs. And Team 2 still has the 2 artillery pieces here, and they have the salvation wreck, which they're almost done scooping up. You would probably assume that would just go into the YOLO. You would assume. Does Team 1 even know about it? No, they don't know anything about it. Focus on Artie, says somebody from Team 1. And there goes the section of the air grid there. There's still this one over here. The T3 air headquarters is down, however. So no more ASFs for Rye guys. We have artillery still landing on the dual artillery pieces here for Zoom. And the shielding is collapsing. He's building another Novax there. The satellite should be targeting the P-Gens, in where he's under control of that satellite now. That's my opinion. Should be targeting the P-Gens. But who am I to tell a 2100 how to play? I'm just a caster. But, you know, my 2 cents. That's all. Get your comm safe. Yolana says Team 1's Kareem. They have spotted it. It is almost in the green. And I feel like Team 1's going to focus everything they have on that now. It was Team 2's little secret that just got out. It is unfortunate for Team 2. Artillery, yep, retasked onto that immediately. And I'm assuming, yeah, they're moving their moving their barrels. I don't know, maybe they're going to go for the air grid still, but I wouldn't be surprised if they shift targets onto that. Almost in the green. It's going to go right now. There it is. It's in the green. 75% done. And Team 2 has thinned out a lot of the spam from Team 1, except for a nice little Colossus. Actually, that's Team 1 going after Team 2. Never mind. But Team 2's done the same thing as well. And not looking good. Artillery raining in. Satellites over top as well. We also have Haldovic's comm kind of exposed. Probably should get underneath a little bit more shielding there. Needs more shielding for his Yolana Os anyways. Explosion happens somewhere. Don't know where it happens. Looks like it happens here. The artillery is exposed. One of them is down. And there goes a P-Gen. There goes a shield generator. That should be the end of that. Grab that P-Gen, and that should be the end of a whole lot of stuff over there. Lots of shots still inbound. Team 1's No Fear has his artillery piece online. I do love how the Continental just kind of overrides the viewing through the shielding for the Cypher side of things. And the YOLO is down. Too much artillery. Bad for the colon, I guess. Or bad for the everything. And that is just unfortunate for Team 2. That was probably their saving grace, maybe. But with that out of the way, it's not really much remaining on the ground for Team 2. Torpedo, because why not for Blast Shield? Why not build a torpedo on board your comm? Why not? We still have a telemaser that could happen in Rye Guys. We have some comm assassinations that could happen for Haldovic and Moi, talking about the splash, teleporter, and gun upgrades. But again, at 56 minutes on the clock, highly unlikely. This artillery piece probably will go down. Satellite is done. One more volley would be enough to crush it. Shielding comes back online at the last moment, and Zoom's like, I'm good. I'm getting out of this. See you, bye. Fat Boy and Krabs pushing it on the eastern side. Krabs pushing down the middle here. Western side, there's really nothing going on over there. Satellite's going after the rest of the air grid and artillery to boot as well. Artillery maybe be tasked on that other air grid here from Right, guys. T1 Jesters at 57 minutes because why not? Because they can spam very, very quickly. And they will help rip apart that Megalith pretty quickly, considering that they're T1s and they're very, very weak. There's still the Crabs inbound. Fat Boys retreating. Looks like they held Dovik space. There's 6 of them online for Moi. And Artillery has finally killed off the Artillery from Zoom. I thought I heard a kill. There's a 3rd artillery piece for Team 2's Moi online. And a 4th one online in the wreck of the Salvation. Maybe not out of it just yet, but again, needs more shielding, needs more salt, needs more everything down there. Lots of mass being donated over to Right, guys. There's a nuke online for Team 1's Chap, and it's about to load, which means it may just fire. There's an SMB there. It is loaded. Artillery raining in, taking out the shielding kind of in a clockwise fashion. But Artillery gets crushed. 2 of the 3 get hit, but that one that was down a lot of hit points finally dies after a long, long time. There's, again, still the artillery piece. And now a nuke here for Team 1's No Fear. There goes the nuke. Where is it going? I don't know. It's going somewhere. There's also a Mavor, because why not, from Moi. I'm losing artillery right now. We have no air grids. And Team 2 recalls. And that is going to be the game. 59 minutes and 12 seconds. And there's a desync literally at the very end of the game, because why not? But that's okay. The game already ended. Anyways, thank you so much for watching till the very, very, very end. Almost 1 hour. It was almost an epic. Almost. And MVP for me, I mean, Chap and Kareem, and of course, Firv had all the Billy Nukes running around. Lovely to see those, as always. I don't understand I can't talk today. Building the Mavor right here. I think it was almost finished, but then it got destroyed. To Zoom's credit, he did just stay there and just said, no, this is my base and I'm not going anywhere. But I do think, again, more shielding definitely was the cause of the deaths of both these facilities for Team 2. And it just was not super well guarded, so that is unfortunate, but it happens sometimes. So you learn from your mistakes and you move on. But let me know down in the comments if you have a pick for MVP. I don't. Really? I really don't. Because everybody did, not necessarily relatively the same, but there wasn't this one big outlandish play or whatever from Team 1. But let me know down in the comments if you think there was one. Thank you so much for watching to the very, very, very end of the video. And also shout out to the person who sent me the replay. Again, his name is down in the comments. Were you right? Were you wrong about who it was? And I will see all of you in the next one.